Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin O'Donnell, and I'm here to present my case analysis on Patagonia's Free the Snake social media campaign. Patagonia's founder, Yvon Chouinard, began forging his own pitons and eventually selling them in 1957. After spending years exploring the Rocky Mountains and Yosemite, he went into partnership with Tom Frost and started Chouinard Equipment. The first big environmental step they took was to minimize their piton business because of the damage being done to the rock from hammering in the iron pitons repeatedly. The emergency of aluminum on the climbing scene 2 years later would allow for the innovations we see today in climbing equipment. This change made in the early days of the company would set a precedent for the type of business they chose to run, one for the environment, not for the profits. After years of making modifications to equipment and gear in the field, Chouinard and Frost opened Great Pacific Iron Works, Patagonia's first store in 1973. Patagonia owns and operates more than 70 stores worldwide and employs upwards of 3,000 employees. Their digital presence includes their website, where they sell their products, offer films, and host a blog called Patagonia Stories, as well as Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. The goal of this campaign is simple: to remove the 4 dams on the lower Snake River in eastern Washington state. Patagonia is unique in that they do not publish content on their social media channels to promote only brand awareness, but environmental awareness also. They might say this is the primary purpose for their social media presence. The birth of the Free the Snake social media campaign took place years before its kickoff, when a documentary was made by 2 filmmakers after a 9,000-mile journey across the U.S. to research, chronicle, and try to understand a growing problem of old and out-of-service or obsolete dams. After their journey, they began to think differently about America's dams. They were no longer great feats of science and engineering. They had become accidental weapons, harming the environment. Patagonia learned of the research that had been done by these filmmakers and partnered with them to get the documentary produced. Patagonia had already been supporting some dam removal projects, but saw this documentary as a way to push the issue to front stage, and it did just that. The documentary promoted activism, which built into a community, spawning more groups' involvement, including groups supporting the salmon fishing industry, the orca in the Pacific Northwest, who rely on the fish that come from the river, water rights for native tribes, and more. Patagonia's involvement gave legitimacy to groups arguing for the removal of the dams and forced lawmakers and officials to take their concerns seriously. This promoted even more activist groups to get involved. Patagonia pushed for and produced additional films on dam removal in other locations, continued posting blogs on their website, increased the frequency of their social media posts, and now include calls to action on all of the movements contained within the Patagonia Action Works page on their website. In the nature of this ongoing campaign, metrics are extremely difficult to directly relate to this single campaign. When you also consider the numerous environmental movements supported by Patagonia and promoted on their digital and social media platforms, that muddies the waters further. However, since the infancy of the Free the Snake campaign, company sales have increased from around 500 million to over 1 billion in 2021. In July 2022, website SpeakRJ predicted Patagonia to grow over 1,400 followers per day over the next 2 years, reaching a total of 5.9 million followers on Instagram in July of 2024. While this prediction was not fully realized, Patagonia did increase their follower numbers from 4.9 million in 2022 up to 5.4 million today. Patagonia is deeply embedded in the activist community, so they have long-standing relationships with passionate individuals lobbying for the environment. There, individuals in the activist communities spend a lot of time outdoors and reward Patagonia for their support by supporting Patagonia in kind, in the form of product purchases. These communities influence others, and Patagonia's sales continue to increase. In September of 2022, Yvon Chouinard transferred ownership of the company to 2 new entities, Patagonia Purpose Trust and the Holdfast Collective. All profits not directly reinvested back into the company are distributed to these two entities, whose sole purpose is to protect the planet. After making this announcement, Mr. Chouinard stated, "Earth is our only shareholder." Patagonia's social media strategy of preserving the environment their customers love and where the products they make are used, rather than striving for better brand recognition, Patagonia continues to maintain a revenue of over $1 billion per year. Increasing sales year over year, Patagonia has achieved success on previous dam removal projects as well. Like the Snake River project, Patagonia supported and lobbied for dam removals on the Klamath River in the Pacific Northwest. Here, too, they produced a film chronicling the process, including its success, finally realized in 2023, which is still ongoing. The Klamath River Dam project is the largest project of its kind in the world. Involved in or against the dam removal project mention having a difficult time navigating the myriad variables involved in predicting and proving how the environment will respond to these monumental changes to its landscape. Each side cites studies claiming the other side is wrong, and there is validity to both arguments. Only time will tell who is right, if anyone. My critique of Patagonia is singular in nature. They are involved in many movements and campaigns, which is great. However, I question, if the Patagonia Action Works were less obtuse and more focused on fewer movements, could they drive greater change and make a larger impact on fewer initiatives? Patagonia does an excellent job at building their digital and social media campaigns of the company around company values. We saw this early on when they switched from iron to aluminum to save the rocks they love to climb. They also use their social media platforms to build loyalty and trust among their target market. The company mission drives the content they publish. The content does not influence their mission or their message. All of this leads to a strong connection between the company and their community of customers. This bond, more than anything, stands the test of time and ensures the future success of the company. Thanks for listening.